building shoulders is something you can really do effectively at home. It is not necessary to have a gym membership. Hey, I'm Mark McKillier with Live Anabolic, and let's talk about how to build some big shoulders at home. Now, the good news about working on our shoulders at home is it is one of the muscle groups where we can basically do almost everything at home that we could otherwise be doing at the gym. Now, I realize at the gym there are some, specific machines that you don't have at home, but realistically, you can do just about anything at home with some dumbbells and some resistance bands that you can do at the gym, and it's almost no difference. Now, this doesn't apply to every muscle group, okay? So like legs is a perfect example. You can work on your legs at home and build some muscle at home, but the gym has got far more equipment that's really good, that is really necessary if you're going to build big legs. You really need to have all that kind of stuff that only, exists basically at a well, stocked gym. So the shoulders are different from legs in that it's a small muscle group. You don't need a ton of weight. You don't need a ton of crazy expensive machines. You can really do a fantastic job of growing your shoulders with nothing but some dumbbells and resistance bands right here at home. I want to ask you to do two things before we get into these 3 tips I'm going to discuss regarding shoulders, and that is check out our Facebook group. There's a link right below this video. Just do it. You don't even have to use your own name. You don't have to post pictures of yourself. You can remain anonymous. I'm the narrator or the monitor of the group. I'm in there almost every day. And then there's over 20,000 guys around the world, so I guarantee you'll love it. And it's not just exercise stuff. We're talking about nutrition. There's a bunch of funny stuff, great jokes, funny memes in there. We talk about injuries and things like that. So join the group. It's free, all right? And I guarantee you'll get a lot out of it. And then secondly, help us promote this YouTube channel that you're watching this video on. And the best way to do that is hit that little thumb, underneath this video, and then share it with some of your buddies and subscribe to the channel. All those 3 things, if you do those for us, will help YouTube recommend us to more and more men around the world, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to really expand our reach. Okay, so let's get into the 3 tips, all right? The very first one, and these are all going to be high level, okay? So this video today, guys, is not a workout video per se. It's not an exercise video. I'm not going to show you certain exercises to do. Use the search feature right here in YouTube and just type in shoulders, and you get some fantastic videos from Gary and myself. This is kind of more of a high level things I want you to just kind of think about, all right? Just generally speaking, and the first one is, guys, you can't build big, impressive shoulders if you're always injured, okay? And so that means when you're working out, specifically your shoulders, do not ego lift. So what do I mean by that? Don't lift more weight than you can lift with good form. Typically people ego lift at the gym, so you shouldn't normally be having this problem at home, right? There's nobody watching you. There's nobody for you to impress, okay? I see people do it at the gym all the time, all right? So there's some good-looking girls around, so the guys start lifting these crazy heavy weights that they shouldn't be doing. They're using crappy form, and they might only knock out 3, 4, 5 reps, all right? That means it was obviously way too heavy. So guys, let me explain how to not ego lift, which means I'm going to explain how to pick the weight for you. And it's going to be different for every single person, and every single different exercise is going to have a different weight or band resistance, okay? This is how you do it, guys. Pick a weight or a resistance that you can do with good form for at least 8 to 10 reps. If you can't get 8 good quality, high form reps with a weight or a band resistance, then you picked a weight that was too heavy. Simple as that. You really never need to be doing any exercise for less than 8 reps. And I mean pushing yourself hard. I mean, it's fine to just knock out 6 reps real light and easy and put it down because it's a warm-up set, all right? But I'm talking about when you're really going hard and it is a real working set, okay? You have to pick a weight or a resistance that you can use really good form for at least 8 reps. Now, sometimes, your workout plans might call for doing 10, 12, 15 reps, maybe even more than that. All right. And if that's the case, you're going to have to pick an even lighter weight. But the way you avoid injury is to use a light enough weight that you can use with good form for a minimum of 8 reps. All right, tip number 2, guys, may sound obvious, but I guarantee you most of y'all are not doing it or not doing it right. And that is you have to warm up. All right. So this is kind of ties into tip 1 where you need to avoid injury. Okay. So guys, our shoulders are the most flexible joints in our body. I mean, you can move your arms in almost 360 degrees, okay? And because it's such a flexible joint, all right, it means it's weaker than a lot of other joints. And so we have to really take your time and warm up. And once again, this video is not going to tell you how to warm up. There's lots of other good videos that Gary and I have put together for you. Just use that little search feature, with the little magnifying glass. Just click on it and type shoulder warm up. But guys, warming up is probably more important for our shoulders than any other muscle group, okay? And it's not that hard to do. There's a ton of little things you do. But when you're warming up, you're not just warming up your delts. Those are your shoulder muscles. You're also warming up the tendons and the ligaments, all right, that surround that joint. And there's a lot of them. It's a complex joint, and there's lots of little muscles and tendons and ligaments that are going in all different directions. All right. So you can't just do one little warm-up move and think you're good. All right. You need to do 3 or 4 different things because there's tons of different muscles, all right, that are involved in this shoulder joint. And sometimes, doing bent over rows is a great way to warm up your shoulders. All right. I love that warm-up technique, but there's several different ones, and you need to take at least 3, 4, 5 minutes, all right, of doing this. And then another thing is, one of the best warm-up techniques is whatever your first shoulder exercise is going to be, pick a really light weight, roughly 50% of what you're ultimately going to be using. Use that as a warm-up set, all right, and do at least 3 warm-up sets, all right? So go progressively heavier, start working towards your ultimate working weight, all right, that you're going to be using, but start at about 50%, all right, of where you're going to end up, and do about 3 sets. Okay, so the final tip today, number 3, is listen to your body, okay? I think most of you guys are pretty good at this, actually, all right? So, and that means basically if it's really hurting, if you're doing an exercise, it's just like, don't push through the pain. Just stop immediately and let's figure this out. And guys, you need to know the difference between muscular fatigue pain and joint pain or ligament pain, okay? 2 different things. So if you're doing overhead presses, all right, and you start to get fatigued, you start to feel the muscle burn, all right? That's lactic acid buildup, all right? You're not creating an injury, all right? So you need to push through that kind of pain, the muscular fatigue pain, all right? But if something feels wrong to you, all right, deep down inside the joint, that's what you got to really worry about, all right? And a lot of times you're just going to have to avoid doing that particular exercise. And so every guy out there watching is going to have different shoulder issues, okay? Some of you guys will have no problem doing this, okay? But you might have a problem doing this or doing front, shoulder raises, all right? You're going to have to figure out which exercises are causing you problems, and you're probably just going to have to avoid those for the rest of your life, all right? Some of you guys have got shoulder injuries that can heal and you can recover from, okay? You guys should work on those painful exercises, but use baby weight, super light weight, like embarrassingly light, and just be careful. You start working your shoulders on those particular exercises, and over a period of months, it may be 3, 6, 8 months, a lot of you guys will be able to build back the strength, the ligament strength and tendon strength, and then the pain goes away, your injury has gotten much better, then you can start increasing the weight and you can start doing that exercise again. Unfortunately, some of you guys are going to have injuries that are just basically permanent, and most of you guys are going to be unable to do this. That's going to be the problem for most men watching today. And for you guys, I always recommend lateral raises, okay, as a great substitute, because you don't have to go any higher than about right here. And for most guys, you can do that without injuring the joint and at the same time really get a great shoulder workout in. Okay, so I realize this was not a real specific exercise focused video today. This was kind of more of an overarching high level video on what you guys need to do or avoid doing to build big shoulders. But one of the main messages I want you to get out of this video is that building shoulders is something you can really do effectively at home. It is not necessary to have a gym membership, and it is one of those muscle groups, unlike legs, that basically you can get just as good a workout right here at home as you can at the gym. But remember, you're not going to get big shoulders unless you always stick with it and never give up on yourself.